Want to know the secret to drawing realistic and iconic animals? It's textures. With just a little practice, those textures and patterns make your creations look incredibly real. It's a cool trick that turns simple sketches into animals everyone can recognize. By adding patterns to it, let's draw this cute little gecko together. Step by step, from a simple outline made of basic shapes to a fully shaded and textured drawing. Let's begin by sketching the main shape of the body. We're going to draw a small gecko, so make sure you don't fill the entire page. Here's a pencil sharpener just for size reference. I'll start with a slightly curved line for one side, and then mirror it with another curved line facing the first. Don't worry about getting it perfect. We're just practicing right now. Now, let's add the head. I'll lightly sketch extra two curved lines facing each other right on top of the previous ones, then connect them with a tiny curved line. Geckos come in many sizes and shapes, so whatever your lines look like, I'm sure it's going to come out great. For the tail, first, draw a small dot to mark where the tail ends. You can make it as long as you'd like. Let's draw two lines from the bottom of the body, closing them together at the end. The end should look pointy, like a small hook. The tail can curve any way you like. Remember, it's just a practice. Our gecko wants to go places and see the world, so let's give him legs. I'll start with the front legs by sketching two L-shaped lines on each side of the body. Then, at the end of each leg, I'll add small, hand-like shapes for the gecko's fingers. These tiny hands are too cute, but don't worry about making them perfect. I bet there are geckos with men hands roaming the world somewhere. Fingers can be long, short, blobby, thin. Honestly, anything would look cool and add your special touch to the drawing. See? Mine aren't even symmetrical, but it still looks great. Our gecko never skips leg day at the gym, so for its hind legs, I'll draw the same L shapes in the opposite direction, but wider and slightly thicker, and add those cute little hands. Or feet? Anyway, geckos' hands come in many different shapes, so truly, don't worry about how you draw them. Already starting to look like a gecko. Now, let's draw its eyes. Let's sketch two simple circles that extend just a little outside the shape of the head. I guess he needs that to notice every single unlucky fly around. Don't you just love geckos? Then, add two curved lines next to each eye to give them that distinct bulging effect. Awesome! Let's add some shading to give it just a bit of depth and dimension. Let's begin by filling in the eyes with a dark tone. I'm shading almost the entire circle, leaving a tiny white spot at the top of each eye for a catchlight. This little detail will make the gecko look more lively. Now, let's add some shading to the body. I'm going to shade in patches, working in small sections. Start with a dark tone near the edges of the head, then gradually fade it toward the center. Now moving to the body of the gecko, gradually shading in patches. Make sure your shading isn't too dark. Soon enough we'll add patterns, and we want them to really pop. For the tail, I'll shade along the edge, letting the tone fade toward the middle to create a smooth, rounded surface. I'm not going to spend too much time perfecting my shading here. We're going to add a cool pattern real soon. For the legs, I'll add some gentle shading around the joints and where they connect to the body. This will help them look more three-dimensional. Now, let's blend our shading. I'll hold my pencil far from the tip and softly go over the shaded areas, smoothing the transitions so they feel more natural. However, don't stress about it. A gecko's skin is rough around the edges, so it's totally fine if your blending comes out a bit rough too. Our gecko is already looking much more realistic. Let's finally add a pattern to make our gecko's skin feel more lifelike. First, let's create a spotted pattern along the back. Ready to see how it really makes it pop? We're going to arrange a bunch of these on the gecko's back to create a cool and unique pattern. Now we're going to play with the size of this shape and make it larger, then smaller again. I'm basically going along the shape of the gecko's curved back to create an illusion of depth in the shape. Had the shape been too straight, it would have felt two-dimensional. Now, let's add a couple more beneath it. They don't have to be identical, think of them as distant relatives. Making more which vary in shape actually creates the pattern. Now we'll just add some dots which fit the smaller areas on the gecko to represent a pattern there. I'm drawing the dots more condensed and smaller as I near the edge, but feel free to draw it however you prefer. After the tail, it's the head's turn. Let's add a few to the arms while we're at it. Sprinkle some here. And here. And there you have it. You've just created your first patterned animal. It gives it a whole new layer of realism. Geckos alone have countless different patterns. Just imagine how many amazing patterned animals you could draw. Beautifully done! Hey, look who's exploring! Your cute little gecko! Look at that pattern you gave him. It's so realistic it helps him blend right into its natural home. To head on the journey to the first legendary draw, the owl. But what kind of owl will she be? Is she a wise professor standing on some ancient books? Maybe she's a pastry chef surrounded by delicious cakes. Or perhaps she's an owl mother proudly standing on a mountain peak with her adorable chicks. Each spark you earn will bring you one step closer to the challenge. Are you ready to start your journey to meet her? Let's go! Hey, look who's exploring! Your cute little gecko! Look at that pattern you gave him. It's so realistic it helps him blend right into its natural home. Those patterns are spot on. Gecko. Now, after mastering